Sony guys, PlayStation. You heard that the PS4. They recently won. Apparently the Indie MPD whatever sales for the month for their console. They're doing gangbusters. But sadly, the PlayStation TV is not doing so well. It was released in 2013 and is now being discontinued in Japan. And I believe when they asked, I can't remember his name, but he's like one of the faces of Sony America, and he said they've pretty much shipped out all their PS TVs out here in the States, and I don't think they plan on shipping anymore. I remember they were really pushing this thing around the release of the PS4. Sony is now shutting down the PSP's native storefront, which is really sad in my opinion, because I never owned a PSP, but I have lots of friends who do own a PSP, and apparently it was an awesome handheld. But they're finally discontinuing that, and it looks like Sony is trimming some fat, and it kind of has me a little worried for the PlayStation VR a little bit. Because it seems
no. They're probably trimming these pieces of fat so that they could put more effort in the VR. Trust me, they want everyone with PS4 to have a PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
They came out an article last week about how the PlayStation VR relates to Oculus or something, and basically they admitted that it's not going to be able to touch the Oculus as far as specs are concerned or performance, but they want it to be a mass consumer product. They don't want it to be a niche product for
gimmick.
PC gamers. Yeah, they want it to be everyone to have one basically. And like I said, it's going to be that thing where it's like, hey, you want to come over and watch me look into these goggles? Like, it's not.
I was gonna say, I read that article and I was like, they nailed it, because you're not gonna be able to match Oculus, but you can bring that price down. And if as long as it's a really good content and a really good product, you don't have to have the highest specs. So I think in that sense. I think Sony might have nailed that. But what I'm worried about is Sony releases these things like these little gimmicks, or not, I say gimmicks, but these little add-ons like the PS TV and all that. And it doesn't seem like they're ever able to fully, maybe you're right, maybe they're going to go all in with the PlayStation VR, but it never seems like they create the product, release it, and they think it's the 1990s again, and if the name Sony is slapped on it, people are going to buy it. And that's it. They don't do a whole lot of support after that for the product. And I think that's one of their problems.
The PlayStation TV wasn't that just like an Apple TV? Wasn't that like a game streaming and TV streaming box?
I believe it was a TV streaming box, because they have a separate program, PlayStation. Was it PlayStation Now or something, that streams games, and it's actually a really good service. I've seen it, and it's actually pretty solid as far as the streaming.
I think they were trying to compete with like Netflix and Amazon, because didn't the PlayStation TV have like its own little they were producing TV shows and stuff?
Yeah.
Like wasn't there a TV show about like people with superpowers, but you could only see it on PlayStation TV?
Yeah. So they were probably just trying to compete with that, and then probably didn't get any traction. Maybe that's why. I'm just worried, because it's just. I hope they go all in, because like I said, when I read that thing that you said, I was like, PlayStation, as much as people are sitting there thinking that PlayStation VR was going to be the worst out of all the VR sets, I'm looking at it thinking it's probably going to be the best. Sure, it's not going to have the best like graphics or anything like that, but it seems like price point, content, and everything, it looks like it's going to be the best bet to me now. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Anyone with a PlayStation 4 can just plug it in and use it. Or the Galaxy S7, if you pre-order it now, they're shipping it with the Galaxy. Oh my God! I'm just saying, they're shipping it with the Galaxy Gear VR. Everyone's kind of doing their own VR thing. Google is starting to sell cardboard in their own store, so they are kind of taking on the supplier
cardboard?
role. Yeah, Google Cardboard. It's a VR. It's a VR viewer.
They're calling it cardboard?
Oh no, it's made out of cardboard.
Because it's made out of cardboard.
It costs $10.
Or less.
Or less.
Why?
because Google.
Why not just form your hands in a circle around your eyes
Well,
I don't know.
and save $10?
Ask Jonathan. He bought one.
Ginger. I don't know if you followed the podcast before you joined us, but Google Cardboard Jonathan's been campaigning for it since at least December. So for most of the podcast life, it's Jonathan's been in the Google Cardboard section.
Okay.
But no,
he's easily impressed by gimmicks.
But
I have video.
Is
of
it
you
something you
walking
used
around
to
my
look at
living
an
room.
eclipse?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It's just the VR viewer. It's just a stereoscopic viewer. It holds your cell phone and then you use.
Okay, I don't want to give.
that thing.
I don't think we should give Google Cardboard any more free advertisement, I might add, than we already have.
But it's not like they're making
saying
money off of it, dude. It's like it's an open source. It's an open source platform. They're not like making money off it. I mean, I guess they make.
They're not making money off of it. It only costs $10.
Yeah, well, I bought it from a third party. Who used Google's open source design to make their own. Make their own one. So.
Well, I think it's sad for the PSP storefront that they're just. I mean, but the PSP is pretty old now. PlayStation TV, I don't really care. What now?
I actually still have a PSP. If anyone wants to buy it.
Hey, I might be interested. I heard it's a pretty
it's
awesome
great.
emulation machine too.
You know, the UMD discs and stuff were really popular for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
They were I remember having Spider-Man 2 on it. You know, the little tiny laser discs, and yeah, it was a solid little system.
Yeah. But like I said, it just has me worried because Sony tends to have this thing with their little, accessories and side things for their consoles. They never seem to fully. So it has me a little worried.
The PSP's old, dude. The PSP's really old.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the PSP. I was talking about the PlayStation TV there.
But I don't really think you can. I don't think you can really attribute that to Sony. That's really everybody. Because I mean, if you think of all the random accessories Nintendo's ever come out with, and then stop supporting Microsoft with the frickin' Kinect.
Oh yeah. Bet they've learned their lesson.
Yeah. Like at least they were smart enough to realize, maybe this isn't a good idea. Let's just stop and stick with what we know. But I don't think you can really say that it's a Sony thing. It's kind of an everybody thing. Everybody releases some gimmicky crap. It doesn't work, so they stop supporting it.
Everybody wants to make the next iPhone.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you really enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to keep up with everything we're doing, hit the subscription button on the video. And if you want to see more 2-Bit podcast videos, hit the video on the right. Or if you want to see some 2-Bit reviews, hit that video on the left. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.